Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 37 of the Drop It Weight Loss, Wellness, Wisdom podcast. If it's your first time on the show, welcome. I'm your host, Nick Geoppo, and 5 years ago, I lost 110 pounds after a lifetime of losing weight and then gaining it back. So if you're someone that's ever tried a restrictive diet or some bullshit plan that led to you losing any amount of weight in any amount of time, and then you ended up gaining the weight back either immediately or slowly over time, I fucking get it. You're not alone. There is a solution. You can have freedom from food. You absolutely have what it takes to lose weight. You absolutely have what it takes to keep the weight off, even though it feels impossible at times. It felt impossible for me 98% of the time. And I just tried to focus on the 2% of the time when it felt really possible and I felt really good about it. And then I would just practice feeling really good about it. And here we are after a whole lifetime of being fucked up from my own obesity and McDonald's and all these other things that I was just basically a slave to. Now living completely free of food. I don't think about food day to day, except that I talk about it all the time on my podcast and social media. But outside of that, it doesn't control a lot of my mind space anymore. And that's what food freedom is. And you absolutely can attain that with the right work. We talk so much about food on this podcast, and that's because weight loss has 99% to do with what you're eating and the reason why you're eating that food. So that's grossly overlooked, right? Why are we eating so much bullshit food all the time? Why are we not eating healthier foods in healthier quantities? What are we hiding from? What are we coping from? We talk about that on this podcast every episode, right? But we don't speak too much about exercise. So this entire podcast episode is dedicated to the best, to helping you build the best exercise routine for permanent and sustainable weight loss. First, you need to know you can absolutely lose weight without exercising. You could lose weight without ever getting out of your bed if you dial in your nutrition and you learn how to have a healthier relationship with food. You know, dial in your nutrition isn't even the right way of putting it. If you learn how to eat healthier foods in healthier quantities and build a framework rooted in common sense, that's what the common sense diet that we talk about all the time is, right? But what about exercise? There is no one size fits all when it comes to the most sustainable workout routine, when it comes to the best workout routine for permanent weight loss. It depends on who you ask. And it depends on what you do right now. If you're someone that is not moving your body, the best thing you can do is start moving your body, but not for the sake of burning calories. This is, if you walk away with one thing from this podcast episode, let it be the next 15 to 20 seconds. Never associate working out with weight loss. Never say, I'm working out to lose weight. As soon as you associate working out with weight loss, what the fuck are you going to do after you finish losing weight? You're going to stop working out because the only reason you were working out was to lose weight. Now there's no more weight to lose. We are here teaching sustainable habits, lifelong habits, not a hit a number on the scale habit, right? What are you going to do after you hit your weight loss goal? Who the fuck you really are is what you do after you hit your weight loss goal. And if your goal is to lose 40 pounds, and you say, I'm going to work out 5 days a week because I want to lose 40 pounds. After the 40 pounds is gone, there is no fucking way that you're going to keep going to the gym. There's just no way, but we don't look at it like that. We just think, I just got to lose the 40 pounds. Yeah, but what about after you lose the 40 pounds, right? So the first thing is never associate working out with weight loss. Associate healthy relationship with food with becoming a healthy person, and as a result, you will lose weight. And then associate working out look at working out as a tool to develop consistency. So to lose weight and keep it off, you need consistency, right? Consistency in everything. And when you wake up in the morning, consistency in like what you eat for breakfast most of the time. So you don't have to fucking think about it when you wake up, right? Like what's your go-to breakfast? What's your go-to lunch? You got 2 or 3 go-to lunches, 2 or 3 go-to dinners. Everything that we're teaching with the common sense framework, the common sense diet, the common sense approach to working out is all rooted in how to create freedom from these things so we don't have to obsess about them and ask ourselves what we're going to do. And it starts with waking up at the same time every day and going on a walk. If you're someone that is not moving your body at all, you have no exercise routine, the first step is to start going on a walk every day. It can start as a 3-minute walk. You have to start moving your body so that you can actually start developing some self-belief and some routine and some consistency and the ability to believe that you have what it takes to show up and do the same thing every single day. That's what walking was for me. So when I lost weight for the last time, it was 2019, and I was obsessively walking 20 to 30,000 plus steps every day for 6 months. That's not realistic for most people. I was in a state of mostly isolation, didn't have any family members near me, didn't have many close friends that I was spending time with, and it was really my sole focus. It might be tough for you to emulate exactly what I did, given that you and I aren't the same people and we live different lifestyles, but you can absolutely steal this from me. The most important thing that I learned from walking so much is just how consistent I could be. And you could do the same thing, but just to a little bit of a smaller scale. If you're not moving at all right now, when you go outside and go on a 3-minute walk tomorrow morning, if you typically wake up at 7, or if you don't know what time you typically wake up, set an alarm. Wake up 3 minutes earlier than you maybe normally would. Wake up at 6:57 instead of 7 a.m. Go outside and go on a walk, and then come back and start your day. If you do that every single day for a week, you're going to start developing some self-belief, and you're going to start realizing that you're the kind of person, or you can be the kind of person that says they're going to do something and then actually does the thing. That's how you develop self-belief. That's how you use exercise and movement as a tool to start believing in yourself and start believing that you have what it takes to lose weight and keep it off forever. The most sustainable workout routine is the one that you can do forever. It doesn't mean you have to have the exact same routine for the rest of your life, but it's one that you can kind of do indefinitely that isn't such a pain in the ass that you fucking hate it, right? Waking up and going on 10-mile runs every day is something that most people fucking hate. And there are people that do it because they fucking hate it. In my own journey, I went really obsessive with it after I lost weight and ran a few marathons and an ultra marathon, and I fucking hated running. That's what I needed for myself, though. I needed to prove to myself that I had the ability to do things that I don't like and smile through it, right? I made weight loss this really extreme thing at times for me, where it was me versus the world and and it was just like came from a lot of negativity. You don't have to take the same path that I can. You can come from love. You can be a little softer and a little gentler with it. 75% of people listening to this podcast are women and mothers. It doesn't have to be this hardo mentality thing that you dread that just sucks the fucking soul out of you, right? Like, you can wake up 5 to 10 minutes earlier and take your kids on a walk with you if you don't have the time, because your kids take the kids on the walk with you. And just look at what walking does to the rest of your day. Look at how good you feel when you get outside and you go, oh my God, there's a fucking world out here. There's a world outside of this hectic environment that I just woke up to. And the sun is out. Put your arms out, look up in the sky, and let it be kind of weird. Just take a breath and say, I absolutely have what it takes to lose weight and keep it off, because I just woke up and went on a walk. And that's not something that I typically do, right? So now we have momentum going into the day because we started with something healthy, even if it was just 3 minutes. Maybe it was a 30-minute walk, right? But let things build over time. So step 1, if you're not moving your body right now, you start with small walks in the morning. Start with a 2-minute walk. If you're really not walking at all, get up to a 15-minute walk over the course of a couple weeks. Come back from the walk and start building from there. Depending on how overweight you are or how much exercise you've done in the past, doing 15 to 20 squats might be a task for you, right? Might be really, really tough. That would have been extremely hard for me to do when I was 110 pounds overweight. So start doing your 15-minute walk, that's 7 days a week, and then come back and do 10 squats. Do that every day for a week. And then come back on week 3 or 4 and do the 15-minute walk followed by 10 squats, followed by 30 seconds of jumping jacks. And do that every day for a week. You get to week 6 and 7, and you have a 30-minute morning routine that is all pretty easy movements, and you're going to see how easy the movements get over time. You get a lot better at working out really fast when you just stick to it. This doesn't mean that you have to work out 7 days a week, but in the beginning, you can just create these really small workouts that you do every day. That's a 15-minute walk followed by 10 minutes of jumping jacks and squats and push-ups up against the wall if you're too heavy to do, or don't have the upper body strength yet to do push-ups. And that's how you create a beginner routine that's actually sustainable. The issue is that a lot of us go, man, I'm going to be in the gym 5 days a week. I'm not working out, but I've got to create this plan and this person that I saw on YouTube, and I've got this AI app that's giving me all these different exercises. And look, you've got to find what's sustainable for you. That might be sustainable for you. Taking that approach isn't sustainable for most people that aren't working out right now. Do 10% more than you're doing right now this week, and then next week, and then the week after. And then shoot me a message on Instagram in 2 months and let me know how sustainable your results are. The problem is that most of us are playing this short-term game, right? We want to work out and build as much muscle and lose as much fat as possible. But in doing so, it's typically not sustainable. So let it be slow. Let it be slow. Start with walking every single day. After you get to the point where you are moving your body pretty consistently, every day you're doing some sort of movement, not necessarily a workout, but you're at least walking every day. And at least a few days a week, you're doing some sort of bodyweight movements. That's where you can start looking at getting into more of a formalized workout routine if that's something that you want to do. Now, a lot of us are already here, right? We're already walking. We're already got a little bit of routine created. We have a little bit of self-belief now. Now, what can I do to burn more calories? Never, ever, ever associate exercise with burning calories. Never track how many calories you're burning in an exercise. It doesn't matter. We're not working out to burn calories. We're working out to build mindset. We're working out to build consistency and self-belief. And as a result, we will maintain our other healthy habits outside of exercise at a much higher rate. And therefore, we will lose weight and keep the weight off. So fuck counting the calories, right? How much does that suck to go try to work out, burn 150 calories, and then come back and then like eat 1 tablespoon of olive oil and it was all gone. It was all for nothing, right? Like is it easier to burn 200 calories or eat 200 calories less? And this is where you can start to see like associating exercise with calories burned or weight loss does not logically make sense most of the time for most people. Now, my exercise routines started with just walking, transitioned from walking for 6 months into running for about 3 years after that, 3.5 years after that. And I took running really, really, really far, ran about 1,500 miles in 1 year was the most that I'd ever ran, and that would have been 2022. And in 2023, my running career ended. So what I was really doing was just kind of white-knuckling weight loss. So I was eating a lot healthier foods, but when I was running all these miles, I didn't have a really healthy relationship with food. I was still eating junk quite a bit. I was still drinking quite a bit of alcohol, more than what most people would say is healthy. And I had a surgery that put an end to my running career, and realized that I really don't know how to take care of myself, or I've never practiced outside of just eating the right amount of calories and not worrying too much about the quality of my food, and then just over exercising. That was my plan, right? So I was white knuckling weight loss for years. That's how I kept the weight off. And I took all that energy and I put it into how can I focus on sustainability in food, but also sustainability in exercise. This is what I landed for on myself. I wake up and I walk every single day. So now I'm 29. I started this journey when I was 24, was the last time I lost weight in 2019. I walk every day, anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, first thing in the morning after I drink water, and do a 2 to 3 minute stretch when I get out of bed. I come back home and I work, and then 3 days a week, I do full body exercises for anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. Typically, those are in the gym. Every once in a while, it's from home or somewhere outside, but typically those are in the gym. Full body movements are much more sustainable and just make more sense than doing these really isolating days. So a lot of the times people that are trying to lose weight will have like an arm day, and their arm days like bicep curls and tricep extensions. And it's like, what are we really accomplishing with an arm day? We're not activating a lot of the body, right? So what we want to do is activate as much of the body as we can. That doesn't mean you can't ever, if you have favorite exercises, like if a bicep curl just feels really good and you like the way it feels, doesn't mean you can't do it. But recognize that the core of your movements should be things that activate a lot of different muscles and that move a lot of your body. Not because they burn more calories, even though they do. Not because they're better for your metabolism, even though they are. but because it's going to help you connect more with your body, and you're going to feel a lot better after a full body workout in terms of energy that you feel than you will from just kind of going and doing some 5-pound curls, right? So I do full body movements 3 days a week. And I've been on a kind of different journey for the last year. I've been intentionally gaining weight. I was down to like 156 pounds before at the end of 2023, which was really skinny. I was healthy, but I was really skinny. I looked like a distance runner because I was one. And I've gained about 10 pounds since then. I'm about 168 pounds now of muscle. And I feel really, really fucking good. And I did that just by doing full body movements. So here's how you build a full body plan for yourself after you're already consistently walking and doing some body weight stuff. It's push and pull movements. So a push movement, this isn't on video so you can't see me, is like a push up or a bench press or a shoulder press. So like lifting something over your head. Those are push movements for your upper body, right? Then we have pull movements for our upper body. That would be like a pull up or like a lat pull down if you're on a machine. And then also a row, like you're rowing a boat, or like a bent over lateral row with dumbbells or with cables. So those 4 movements, push horizontal, push vertical, pull horizontal, pull vertical, are working every single muscle in your upper body. So that's full upper body is worked with 4 movements. And then we have our lower body. We have lower body push and lower body pull. Lower body push is a squat. Lower body pull is a deadlift. Those are the most basic 6 movements that work every single part of your body. Push horizontal, push vertical, pull horizontal, pull vertical, and then squat, deadlift. Those 6 movements alone are the core of every single, all of the 3 days that I work out. I do those 6 movements. And I'm really focused on the 6 movements because I'm activating every single muscle in my body. And I'll still do other stuff. I still like to go and do bicep curls because they look cool in the mirror. But those aren't the center of my workout, right? When you work your full body like that and you focus on just 4 or 5 or 6 movements, the same movements all the time, what you're doing is mastering the movements instead of going in the gym and doing different shit every single time, right? Like there are so many workout plans. When I was joining all these totally bullshit weight loss programs where they just give you eat this and lift this, and it wasn't built for me. It was just this cookie cutter thing. I would have a different workout on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then a different thing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I was never actually getting better at the movements or getting really comfortable with them. Maybe I was getting a little stronger over time, but I was never really mastering the movement. The people that are the strongest are mastering specific movements, and those are 6 movements that you can do. You could YouTube push, pull exercises for full body and just pick 4 or 5 or 6 of them and just do those same things every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And over the course of doing that with really lightweight, starting with body weight stuff, if you can't do push-ups, going up against the wall and doing push-ups instead of doing them on the floor, over the course of 2 months, your body will look entirely different. You'll stand straighter. You'll have more confidence. People are going to ask you what you've been doing for your workout plan. And you deserve to feel like that. You do. It just starts small. Start with walking, and then start with doing 3 days. Start with 2 days, and then grow into 3, right? Whatever it looks like for you. Give yourself permission to try shit and fail, and then redirect. If you're doing no movement outside of walking, do 1 day of body weight stuff, and then the week after that, do 2 days of body weight stuff. Do you see how we're building over time? The key is to build over time. It's a relationship with exercise. The same way we talk about relationship with food and relationship with self or relationships with other people in our life. They're never going to be perfect right when you meet someone. You might have a little honeymoon phase, but we know the honeymoon phase goes away. It can be like that with exercise as well. Who are you when the honeymoon phase goes away? We can just skip the whole honeymoon phase and just start with 1 day a week and then go to 2 and then go to 3 and then go to 4 if you want to. 3 works best for me. I feel recovered when I go into my workouts. I don't dread going to the gym. If I was 7 days a week, there's an element of dread tied to it. And as soon as you start fucking hating things that you're associating with your own health, it just becomes this dreadfulness and this darkness and this, I don't really want to every day. It's like I would rather take that energy and put it towards something else. and just do what feels really sustainable for me, because working out isn't my life. It's not my lifestyle. It's not who I am. What I eat is not my life anymore. They're things that I've standardized. I don't focus on them every day. I've standardized them and I've optimized for them in a way that works for me. That so much of this is about doing the work up front, right? So we're 20 minutes into this podcast episode. If you spend 20 minutes after this podcast episode and just write out a plan and just schedule out the next 1 month, then it's going to take you 15 to 20 minutes, right? Grab a calendar and write in the calendar what time you're going to wake up every day, what time you're going to go on a walk 5 minutes after you wake up every day, and then how you're going to every week just add 3 minutes of exercise to whatever it is you're doing. You can build out your entire month, and then you don't have to think about it. You just have to do it. And if you just did it for 1 month, it would change your life, and it would change your mentality and the way you look at yourself. The month is going to pass either way. So you might as well just do something like that, because if you don't, you're going to come back and listen to this podcast episode in a couple months or some other podcast from someone else talking about something kind of similar and just wish that you did. Like everyone listening to this podcast wishes that they did this last month. Everyone listening to this podcast wishes that they started prioritizing their health a year ago. We all wish that we didn't quit on our diet when we were 22 years old. I wish I didn't quit on my diet when I was fucking 18. How different would my life have been? You know, how different would my body be right now had I started lifting weights when I was 18 years old? Oh my God, it would be so different. How much more money would I make? How much, like everything. It sucks. It sucks thinking like that. It's not productive thinking like that. I don't think about that now because I'm taking action all the time, but I didn't always take action, and I use those negative thoughts to turn into positive fuel to step into action. So give yourself permission to sit with the pain, the regret, and move that into setting your alarm 5 minutes earlier than you normally would tomorrow to get the fuck out of bed, you know. And God, I get it. But if nothing changes, your body's never going to change if you don't change your habits. Your habits are never going to change if you're not willing to change who you are. If you're not willing to let go of this identity of being this fat person, this lazy person that doesn't take care of themselves. It doesn't, I'm just too tired. I'm just too late, too big boned. Yeah, like, yes, you are, but you don't have to be anymore. And you could snap your finger. What if you just close your eyes and visualized you snapping your finger and becoming a different person immediately? And then you just decided that you're going to play a character of somebody that works out. I'm going to play a character for 1 month. You could change your fucking name. I'm going to change my name from Nick to Nico for 30 days. And Nico's the kind of guy that wakes up 10 minutes earlier and goes on a walk. And on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, he goes to the gym and he does these workouts. And going to the gym is not hard for Nico because Nico's a confident guy. And you just pretend for like a month. And then you realize in reflection from the month that you weren't actually pretending. All of that actually existed inside of you, and that's actually who you are. And then over time, you just become Nico. And then you change your name back to Nick. Now here we are 5 years later, and I'm fucking Nick. I am the character that I created. I literally became the character that I built for myself, like a fucking video game. And you can start looking at the world like that, and you could realize how much more control you have over your own reality than you've ever imagined. And if you don't, then you're just going to stay the same forever. You know, they say that we teach the things we need to hear the most. And as much as I'm speaking to all of you listening to this podcast, I'm really speaking to myself at the same time, because there's so much changing in my life still. And I'm going back and reminding myself through this conversation of what I put myself through to lose weight and how it's still pertinent to the situations that I'm in now. It's still pertinent to the situations that I'm in my personal relationships now. It's still pertinent to the positions that I'm in my job now, or as a content creator now, or as a podcaster, or as a business owner, community manager, coach, right? All of these different things. There are challenges popping up all over the place. I love what I fucking do. There's nothing I would change about my life. But to go back into, I want you all to have this experience, right? Of going back into the time when you were losing weight, the time when things were changing really rapidly, the times where I just don't know. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, you know, or I know what's going to happen, but I don't know when. So I'm just going to focus on the things that I control, the things that I can control. That's what I eat and how often I move my body and what I believe. It's not how I feel. We can't control how we feel. We can control what we believe and what we think about. We can control our minds. We can control what we put into our body and how often we move it. And when you realize that, you start realizing that that you can control a lot. You can control so much input. We can't control the output. You can't control how much muscle you build or how much weight you lose, how fast. But you can control what you put into your body and how often you move your body. And once you find a way through that, every time anything in your life, any challenges present themselves, you get to look back on the journey and remind yourself of how badass you are. I love looking back on old pictures and videos of myself going, man, I'd go through self-doubt. Everyone has self-doubt. Whenever I have self-doubt, I just go, man, you're fucking badass, man. You're the guy. You are the guy. You are the guy that was put here to cure generational addiction, obesity, and divorce for your whole bloodline. Like, you are the guy. Just because you chose to be him, not because you're called to it, not because of God or anyone or Jesus or anyone that may or may not have ever existed. It's because I just chose to be the guy. And everyone can do that. You can just decide that you're going to be the fucking guy, or you're going to be the fucking girl. You're going to be the woman or the man, the mom or the dad. Like, just snap your fucking finger and decide right now. Don't wait until tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. This podcast is going live on Wednesday. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, move your body on Wednesday, not on Thursday. Don't wait until Monday. Monday is never going to come. When Monday comes, we're going to be a little tired from the weekend and a little stressed about starting out the week. Again, I'm really talking to myself here. And I'm trying to get myself going. The way that I'm speaking to all of you is the way that I speak to myself. These are the conversations that I have with myself out loud all the time. You would think I was a fucking crazy person walking down the side of the road, having these long monologues about how to keep going and how to navigate tough decisions based on what I learned and the self-belief that I built through losing weight and keeping it off forever. Build a plan for exercise that is sustainable for you. There is no one size fits all. Start with walking, move into full body exercises. Start with 1 day a week, and then 2 days a week, and then 3 days a week. Do that over the course of 2 months. Your body's going to look totally different. You'll have a fully sustainable routine because you built it over time and you let it go slow. The key is to build it over time and let it go slow. You can work out from home, YouTube, 20-minute full body home workouts, or you can do it from the gym. You could YouTube 30-minute exercises on machines at the gym, or just take those 6 movements and do those same 6 movements every time that you go. Push, pull, horizontal, vertical for upper body, squat, deadlift for lower body. Hope that everyone has a great rest of your week. You absolutely have what it takes to lose weight and keep it off forever. You absolutely have what it takes to lose weight and keep it off forever. If you made it to the end of the podcast episode, please leave us a rating, and we will see you next week.